Right, 2 August 2025, and today I'm so excited to be giving you an update as we move into the end of the year. So today I want to quickly take you through what is happening, and I want to take you through the military or security issues that are currently taking place in Zimbabwe. So there is an upsurge or an uptick in robberies, armed robberies, and thefts that are resulting in a number of deaths. So particularly, we've had the death of a Chinese national who was shot dead last week, which became an international incident. So the Chinese embassy has issued a statement warning all the Chinese who are in Zimbabwe. So it's a travel warning issued by the Chinese. And this has come as the police in Zimbabwe are failing to contain robberies. So you know that someone recently lost, I don't know if it was $500,000 in cash. These robberies are also taking place at Mukuru branches and at other places where cash is kept. So there is generally a lack of preparedness and inability to respond by the police in Zimbabwe. But there is a new dimension to everything. So yesterday, there was a voice note by one of the popular Chiwenga and Gweza linked people who said Mnangagwa and Tagwire have devised a plan to bring in assassins into Zimbabwe to cause chaos, with the idea that a state of emergency can be declared. So 12 assassins are said to have arrived in Zimbabwe on a flight, a private charter flight into Zimbabwe. And I'm going to ask Traore myself to unpack this for us when I get a chance to talk to him. Traore says these assassins are hired by Tagwire so that they can cause chaos after Tagwire was ejected from the Central Committee. So I'm now going to play for you the voice note. Then we're going to quickly go through the news. So let's hear what Traore said about these assassins. Remember, he's very linked and is a heavy supporter of Chiwenga and Geza. So it means whatever he says, you can extrapolate it to the two. It is seen as true. If you were to ask Geza if that is true, he will probably tell you that is true. So let's listen to what Traore said yesterday.
Comrades and friends, how are you? This is Traore here. Now, just to give you an update, on the 29th of July, Panendege akasvika Robert Mugabe International Airport. Apparently, ndege 12 people. In around 12 hours, they were coming from Eastern Europe. So, vachibva kuEastern Europe, these people vakaunzwa munomu nakuda waChitagwire. And zvigananda leader wazvo anova kuda kwaChitagwire abuditswa mumeeting yeCentral Committee. Vanhu ava vachiti hey, Chiwenga is quiet, is not doing anything. Just so you know, munhu akabuditsa kuda kwaChitagwire muCentral Committee General Chiwenga. Why? Because he refused, he denied people like kuda kwaChitagwire the opportunity to buy their way into politics. Nyange wanga vasina experience, nyange wanga vasiri kubva structures, and also considering the fact yekuti these are people that have been sabotaging the economy of the country, engaging in bogus deals, briefcase deals. Ari kuita kuti nhamo irambe ichiwedzera munyika yeZimbabwe. So General Chiwenga had to step up and eject, let me use the word eject, kuda kwaChitagwire from Central Committee. So that is when the dreams of Gambakwe into the Central Committee were shattered. So these people came with a plan B. In this plan B, the 12 hired assassins coming into Zimbabwe. Now, vakauya on account yakuda kwaChitagwire and kuda kwaChitagwire ndiye ari kuvachengeta vakasvikira paHyatt Regency Hotel. So now the plan B nevanhu ava ndeyekuti they've been promised positions after vaexecuta plan yavo ikabudirira. So you find people like Ziyambi vane zvigaro zvavakapromiswa, vanana Jacob Mudenda vane zvigaro zvavakapromiswa, and others that I have not mentioned. So the plan is to create a security situation, a security threat kind of situation in the country. Yekuti panodeclarewa state of emergency, my elections otombomiswa, quite a lot of things otombomiswa, zvinhu zvimboita get back to normal. So during all this time, zvigananda zvichapanana zvigaro, vapanana zvigaro, vocreata a system yavo of rewarding each other. Why?
Okay, so that is in short the voice note. And myself, I take such things very seriously because I believe that people have to find a way of communicating. So on both sides of ZANU-PF, they have to find a way of communicating. So they use certain platforms to communicate. And I believe that they also take this seriously. So Chiwenga's side is taking this very seriously. So they believe that there is such assassins, and those assassins are in place in Zimbabwe to cause chaos so that we end up with a state of emergency. So that is what is there. As I said, I'll get hold of Traore during the day. Then we'll bring him here to explain what's happening with this situation. This is a very serious allegation to Tagwire. Remember, Tagwire is a real person. Traore is a real person. So if you make such an allegation, you can't just make it to say Tagwire brought people into Zimbabwe. It must be something that is backed by facts. So, for example, he said that at the Hyatt Regency Hotel in Harare, right? So, is the Hyatt Regency Hotel in Zimbabwe open? So, let's check if the Harare Hyatt Regency Hotel is open. So, that's a quick check that I normally do. So, I say the price is at Hyatt Regency Hotel. So, Hyatt Regency Hotel in Harare is Mikos, is it? Or what? I don't know. But I don't see it here. Hyatt Regency Harare, that's what he said. So we're going to make a quick check on those kind of things, and then we'll talk to him and ask him where he got his information, not by name, but is it credible information that Mnangagwa has brought in 12 assassins? Obviously, Tagwire can't do anything without Mnangagwa, and the state of emergency cannot be implemented by Tagwire. It has to be done through Mnangagwa. So these are serious allegations going into the elections. We don't want this election to fail. We want the election to succeed. So we're going to be following these things very, very closely. Right now, let me quickly go through the news. I'm going to start with Hopo. So Hopo has indicated that Muzembe is seriously ill in hospital. He has been removed from prison. He's now been put at a Harare hospital. And he says his heart and legs are swollen. So if you're in Harare and you're Muzembe's friend, please go check him out at Harare. I think it's Pariniatwa Hospital. People are very concerned about him. Hopo Chimono is engaged in a vicious fight with Nelson Chamisa. So yesterday, Hopo Chimono tweeted against Chamisa, and he said, what ZANU-PF did to the opposition and its leaders was exactly how it was expected to behave, barbaric. But what you do to to as Zimbabwe's main opposition leader, sorry, what you did, but what did you do as Zimbabwe's main opposition leader to protect yourself from that barbarism beyond the belief that God was in your project and intervene? I ask because we all know that faith without strategy is just wishful thinking, and in the face of tyranny, wishful thinking gets you crushed. So I can see Oppo is directly responding to Chamisa. Chamisa had made a remark here about ZANU-PF spending a lot of money on destroying the CC. So what Oppo and Chamisa are now doing is openly fighting each other. But I believe that this is, well, it's nice to hear, or it's a drama. But where we're going, we don't need the drama. And I'm going to be showing you what we're doing starting today with M31 coalition political party. So we're going to be doing stuff now, starting to work on the ground. We want people to do stuff. We don't want people to just talk. The time of talking is over. ZANU-PF is making inroads, and we need to make a move. So the business of accusing each other and making fun of each other is over. We need to be on the ground working. Right, then let's go to a most important story. President Duma Boko is currently in Zambia. He's going to spend, or he has spent the night in Zambia. He has delivered one of the most powerful speeches I have ever heard from President Duma Boko. Guys, when President Duma Boko is speaking, it's amazing. It was amazing, and I like it. So go check out what happened yesterday. I've never seen such a speech in my whole life from President Duma Boko. The man is what we call an orator. I don't know if you call him an orator, someone who talks a lot. He talks a lot, and it's amazing. So there has been a signing yesterday of an important agreement between Zambia and Botswana. A new railway line is going to be constructed between Zambia and Botswana at first, and that railway line is 480 kilometers. It's going to cost 1.5 billion US dollars. You can go to Gambakwe, put the details there. So that is over the Kazungula Bridge. Eventually, they are going to put in Namibia, and unfortunately, Zimbabwe is not connected. If Zimbabwe was to be connected, then the Victoria Falls will be connected, which means Harare will also be connected by rail to Zambia and to Botswana and to Namibia. This is a massive opportunity, and I would like all the people who are thinking of going into government to look carefully at this project. So this space is very underutilized. Kazungula is underutilized to a great deal. We need work to be done here. There is a lot of opportunity at Kazungula, and President Hakainde Hichilema and President Duma Boko are doing a lot. They're doing a lot here. I like what they're doing. They've already got the funding, and groundbreaking is going to happen in 2026. So in 2026, we're going to see the groundbreaking, and that rail will reduce the distance between the port at Durban and Zambia and Botswana by more than 1,000 kilometers. So this is crazy. This is one of the biggest projects ever in Southern Africa, and Botswana and Zambia doing very, very well together. Then I want to go into South Africa. The air traffic navigation system of South Africa crashed yesterday, and aeroplanes could not take off for a while, for a long, long time. So it took hours before this problem was resolved. So the lady you're looking at here is Nozipho Mdawe. She is the CEO of the air traffic navigation system of South Africa. She's currently on suspension, and the organization is going through a lot. So this system failed because of various issues like poor training, old systems, and also lack of training and lack of staff. So South Africa has got a big problem with air traffic navigation control. And she has in the past given reasons why this has failed. So this system has failed, and people were stuck in aeroplanes just sitting there for hours, doing nothing. And unfortunately, those are the kind of things that cost millions to our country. In fact, it affects everyone, because even if you're flying to Zimbabwe or you're flying to anywhere, the region is in trouble. That is the biggest airport in South Africa at the moment, the O.R. Tambo International Airport. Then let's go to Auxilia Mnangagwa. They started a domination of news, 8 o'clock main news in Zimbabwe. She's now taking, once again, between 15 to 20 minutes every night on the news. So remember, when this happened, the group around Mnangagwa felt that Auxilia, they were in charge. There was no threat. So the emergency of Auxilia on TV again, and the banning of Chiwenga on TV. So Chiwenga is not allowed to talk on TV. You will never see him talking again. That ban is back. So you can see him sometimes walking like what he was doing here. However, the person that spends the whole time talking is Auxilia. And as I said, I've realized that Auxilia, something's wrong with her. She just rambles on. When she's talking, she goes on and on without any structure. Something has gone wrong with her. In Shona, we can say Ariku Manya Nebani. Ariku Manya Nebani. Or Ariku Penga. Like she's gone crazy. She wants to be a pastor, not a president's wife. That is crazy. I cannot believe that she believes that she can change people. Instead of putting in place systems and organizations, she wants to do the thing herself. So that is crazy. And I hope that they manage it again. So at one point they managed her. Now they are failing to manage it again. So now let's quickly go into the newspapers. We're going to start with the Herald newspaper. They published. I like the Herald newspaper. It's a great newspaper. They've got good news. I like the structure. So Anna Jenfan, they're doing a good job on this newspaper. The only thing they need to do is to cover everyone. So we need to have the opposition covered in our newspapers. We can't have a country where you only cover one side. So we need to cover the opposition. When there's 1st August killings commemoration, we want to see the national newspaper covering to say there was a massacre and there's a commemoration. Those kind of things, that's news. That is what is news. So let's look at the news. There's Mnangagwa over here. SADC chair, Mnangagwa addressed delegates at the State House of Nairobi, Kenya. This is his last week as SADC chair. So Mnangagwa's chairmanship ended yesterday. He's no longer the SADC chair. So now we're busy preparing for Madagascar to take over. This was the last event which Mnangagwa is going to officiate. He's going to be handing over on the 17th of August. You're going to see it. Mnangagwa is no one in SADC. People are so happy that this man is gone from SADC. Then let's see if there's anything else of interest. I showed you John Fan just now. He was at Wangi Koleri. So that's John Fan here, together with Munashe Shava. And who else? I saw another minister here, so I don't understand who else is there. Then you can see Joe Pomona. They keep going to Joe Pomona, but it's not working. And then you can see the women talking to Auxilia about drug abuse. This is going to fail. It's a mess. And then 2 August by-elections. So there are 2 by-elections today. So that is Chinhoyi Municipality and Opworth Local Board. So it is hereby notified in terms of the Electoral Act that the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission established 25 polling stations where polling will take place on 2 August 2025 in by-elections. So there are no opposition candidates here. And today we're going to be watching very closely the MDC, Young Monzora. I think they wanted to put a candidate here. I don't know if they succeeded. But what we want to do So now I want to just take aside a bit here. So I want you guys to understand what we're going to do. A lot of people have been calling me saying they want to become candidates. So they want to become candidates for 2028. So what we've said is starting this month, we're going to start approaching or talking to people who want to be candidates. You have to start putting your money aside. So it costs $1,000 to be an MP. That's how much you need to deposit. I know most of you don't have $1,000. So starting this month, you are going to get in touch with us on this number if you want to be a candidate, choose your constituency, and then you're going to put aside $35 a month until the election. So $35 a month, you will have your money for the election. And that money is going to be kept by the party, which is the M31 Zimbabwe. So you must get in touch with me there. I'm going to spread this message, and we're going to put in place the structure for keeping that money and also for auditing that money so that it's not abused. So we want you guys to become candidates. So starting today, which is the 2nd of August, we're going to be taking candidates and then publishing the list of all the people who want to be candidates, 210 constituencies, thousands of councils, and 210 Senate seats. And also people who want to become proportional representative MPs and youth representative and female representative. So these are the things that I'm going to be doing starting today. So WhatsApp me on that number as we talk about the election. So we're on the track right now. And remember, we've said Fadzai Mahere is going to be our preferred presidential candidate. But if by the 24th of August, Mahere has not come back to us or allowed or given us an indication of what she wants to do, we then have to move to the next step. However, by the end of this month of August, we should have our office and we should have a proper structured party which is ready to contest elections. Okay, so I think we've covered that. Let's see what else is there of interest in here. I like graphs, I like data, weekly branch sales performance. I don't know what is happening here. Let's leave it alone. I think that is what we have for now in here. I now want to feature a story. Before I go to the Chronicle newspaper, I want to feature an important story, which is the mermaids. So I know that you guys love mermaids. You love them. I don't know why someone would love a mermaid. It's crazy. Mermaids are dangerous. If you fall in love with a mermaid, so yesterday, Destiny TV has gone to the site of the drowning of 2 women who were taken by mermaids. So the mermaids, or the mermaid spirit, or the water spirit, is a cult in Zimbabwe called Manjuzu. The cult is made up of young women who are not married. It doesn't mean they're not dating, but they're married, not married. So you cannot enter this cult if you're married. So Destiny TV spoke to the relatives of the women who drowned, and the women have revealed that, the relatives have revealed that one woman was grabbed by the mermaid, what they call the mermaid, so that she could not walk out. So she went up, and she was up with the hands up. They tried to get her, but they couldn't get her. So this is the pond. Here, it's a shallow pond. And one other woman tried to go in to grab her. So there was a 30-year-old woman and a 20-year-old woman. The other woman tried to get her out, and she was also pulled down. So a man who was passing by helped and pulled out the second woman. So the first woman, who is the younger woman, the 20-something-year-old woman, maybe 20, She was under the water and they could not get her out for the whole night. So they spent the whole night camping there. The police were called the next day. And on arrival, the diver that you're seeing there entered the water. And on entering the water, right there where he is, that is where he found the body. So what the Memens do, according to their cult, is they pull you in and then they push you out nearby. They don't push you into deep water. So the body was right there at the edge. They couldn't find it the whole night, but they found it at the edge. And he says, so that is the uncle here. He says when the body came out, the mermaids had cut makeup on her body. So they cut it as if they're putting makeup. So that is on the eyes and on the lips and on the ears. So what women do when they're doing makeup, they cut her on her face as if they're putting makeup. So that is how her body was, as if they're putting lipstick, eyebrows, and nose, and ears. So you can go, I don't know what women do to nose. I think they put earrings. So they did that to her body. So that is what the assistants who handled the body said. So you can go and check out this story on Destiny TV. They went to the site and the body has been buried. The prophet has disappeared. And unfortunately, the belief in mermaids is running across Zimbabwe like wildfire. So people believe that mermaids can give you money. And what they found at this place was snuff, so tobacco snuff, rice, whiskey. I don't know what else they found, but they had a bunch of things there where they were performing rituals. The ritual started a few days earlier in the mountains. And then they had some traditional instruments over there, which they were using. So according to the uncle here, in the past, in this dam, you would go there in the evening and you would find sheets, white sheets, and clothing hanging outside on the rocks. So the mermaids would come out and hang out their clothes on the side, on the rocks at the side of this place here. And the elders had told them in the past not to perform any rituals or touch the things in the dam. So not to go around and touch things around that dam or try to perform rituals because that's very dangerous. So this place is called Marimbe, near Manenga, at Nyahuni River. So that is where this incident occurred. So the mermaid spirit is something that people are worshipping. So especially young women are believing that they can get wealth, and young men are also said to have joined this mermaid cult. So the mermaid cult, or Manjuzu, very dangerous cult. Don't do it. You don't last. So if you get the money, this guy says you actually look like you got money for a while, and then you would die. So it won't take you long to die. So it was not the first time for these ladies to go to the Manjuzu cult, especially the adult one. She had gone for a while. And then apparently you are only given a short space of time after the ritual to enjoy your money. And people who normally do these rituals of Manjuzu or what the other cults, they do bizarre things when they're buried, like being buried at midnight or being buried in the house, or saying if you die, your cars or wealth should not be distributed and should be packed wherever you died. So I've been shown a place in another country, which I won't mention, where a guy died. He had a fleet of trucks. And after he died, you will find the whole fleet packed at his house. No one wants to touch it because of these rituals. So he got it through the rituals. So whoever takes it will also be given time. You'll be given 5 years to live. And you think 5 years is a lot. By the day, 5 years goes so fast when you got money and you die. So don't do Manjuzu. It's dangerous. Okay, now let's go to the Chronicle newspaper. I'm actually serious because in Harare, people do a lot. So especially the women in Harare, they do a lot. Vanoroya. You see those girls, Wakanaka, they go Kunana Sekuru on the weekends. Don't date them. They do so much. What a friend of mine saw in his girlfriend's bag was shocking. Then I asked him, what exactly were you looking for in a woman's bag? He could not answer me, but he found something very crazy in his woman's bag. And if you go to those women's rooms, make sure that after you're leaving, take everything of yours with you. So don't leave stuff, especially anything with the DNA in their houses. Okay, for DRC is SADC IAC Joint Forces for Stability. So that is the meeting that took place in Kenya. And what else? China's path to modernization aligned with Zimbabwe 2030. You can see Ambassador Zhou Ding here. Ambassador Zhou Ding is probably one of the most active ambassadors you've ever seen. He's always all over the place, and he's got a social media of his own. Then we've got Teen Mom to Trailblazer, African Cowgirl Sweet Success Story. And then let's see if there's anything else of interest in the Chronicle newspaper. So the Chronicle newspaper is one of the biggest newspapers in Bulawayo. Almost everyone reads it over there. And then let's see in South Africa, the Independent newspaper, what it's saying. So in the Independent newspaper of South Africa, they're talking about the police. So there's a new police minister, a temporary police minister, who was appointed by President Ramaphosa. So you can check him here. He is acting police minister Firoz Kachalia. Okay, and then let's see if there's anything else of interest in this newspaper. We've got Marcus Just, see, a house goes on sale. So that is Marcus Just is selling his house for 105 million. So go check out this newspaper. It's widely available online for free. So newspapers in South Africa are free. If you're in South Africa, you don't have to pay for newspapers. It's free. You get a free newspaper. You just go out there. And then the biggest story is that in Nkosana Makate's bid to get a lot of money, more money from Vodacom has failed. And they've sent him back to the Supreme Court of Appeal. They found out that the Constitutional Court found that the Supreme Court of Appeal made errors in their judgment. So Nkosana Makate is not going to get billions and billions. He's only going to get a little bit of money, not a lot, not the billions that we're expecting him to get. So it's terrible what has happened. It's a bad setback for Nkosana Makate. It's bad. And then the Star newspaper has not published, or has published and I can't see it. It's possible. So I don't even know how to look at the Saturday Star. And as soon as I get it, I'll share it with you guys. So I think we've covered a lot today. In Angola, 22 people have died. So this is so sad. 22 people have died during protests, and over 1,200 people have been arrested during protests over fuel increases, for fuel price increases. And it's really bad what's happening in Angola. Now let's go to our sponsor, Mve. So I want to give you guys an update. So we have changed our stickers. So if you look at the Gambakwe sticker or the Gambakwe packet, we now have a new packet. So our packets no longer have the old stickers. So if you looked in the past, you would have a little sticker here. We've now brought in a bigger sticker. So you see a picture of me, an actual picture of me, this picture, and it's transparent. So if you don't get a packet with my face and that picture, and it's transparent, That's not the real product. Do not take fake mve. We have an ISO-certified factory that is supplying us with organic mve. It's 200 grams. So make sure that you're buying the correct mve. Don't buy the wrong mve. And currently we're running a special inside of the UK, USA, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. You buy one packet, get one packet free. And in South Africa, you buy one packet of mve, you get 2 detox. So 2 Zambia detox, unopisa semoto. So if you don't have it, you don't understand. Atidi tucha tucha, atidi muno anongoti tucha tucha, ozo tadza. So that is our sponsor, Mve, and that is amazing. So currently we've been going on the 6 months workout. So I've shown you guys how to do the workout. I'm going to show you the result. So very soon, I'm going to show you guys the result. Remember what we did here? We've been on this exercise. So I go every night before bed 300 sets. So that is 3 times 100. So you remember it? 1, 2, 3. So that workout, you remember it? 100 times 3 every night before you sleep. You do that workout, you have a 6-pack. So in a few weeks, we're going to show you Kundane 6-pack here and how strong I'm looking. So Gambakwe is going to show the results and the pacha pisa. Madzimai, Zizo. Don't look, Mozo with my nightmares. Okay, I think we've covered everything. Let's now recap on Fadzi. So Fadzi, Advocate Fadzai Mahere, she is going to join a group of advocates that are becoming presidents if she accepts to become our candidate. I like what she said yesterday about when she talked about turning 40, the new things that are coming. I hope that she understands the critical role that she's going to play. My view on Chamisa is simple. Chamisa has had 2 chances to become president. He's going to have a 3rd chance now if he becomes a candidate. However, it cannot be by chance. You cannot become a president by chance. It has to be by design. So we have said up to the 24th, Fadzi has got a chance to say if she wants to be a candidate or not, which means before that time is up, Chamisa must also say if he is going to be a candidate or not. At the moment, he says he's building a government, he's not building a party. And we say that it's not possible to become a president without a party. Because how do you appoint your ministers? How do you appoint your professional representative MPs? How do you run your councils? Are you going to wait on the day when you've won the seats to make a decision? So it's not possible. You need a secretariat. And that secretariat cannot be a weak secretariat. So we don't want a weak secretariat. So what we've said is that Chamisa must come out and declare. Guys have called me. A lot of guys, we have a lot of conversations with a lot of people. They've called me and said, we don't want a situation where a president is chosen or a president or candidates are chosen or choose themselves. But what I'm saying is at the moment, we've got the best person for this position, who is the presidential candidate, who's Fadzi. She's well suited to become a presidential candidate. People love her. And she's going to do so well. And she's a candidate that is very difficult to beat. Both inside and outside of Zimbabwe, she's got so much support. What we want is to have some sort of convergence and quick decision. So we might end up with a situation where Chamisa is having a movement and we're busy with a candidate from a political party. And then we're going to have everyone under a coalition. We want a coalition. We don't want to go in a scattered fashion. So what President Duma Boko did in Botswana, that's what we want to replicate in Zimbabwe. So the two have to sort themselves out. That is Chamisa and Mahere, they're probably the best candidates right now. I know Chamisa doesn't believe that he's in the same league as Fadzai. So I've heard calls from people telling me, Fadzai can't be in the same league as Chamisa. Guys, do not be surprised. When President Duma came into office, no one thought he was going to go into office. So we want a quick decision this month. We don't want to go beyond this month because January, we need to start contesting for elections, by-elections. So this is very important. I'm going to keep talking about this over and over again. We want a decision from Fadzi by the 24th. But do not be mistaken. If we don't have a decision by the 24th, we're going to have a candidate. So we're going to go into another process and we're going to have a candidate. We are not going to make a mistake in 2028. It's not possible. We don't want a mistake where we have ZANU again for 10 years. And I know most of you agree with me. We don't want ZANU for another 5 years. That would be crazy. Those guys must lose. Tabure must be beaten like a snake that is entered the house. So the elections, after that election, he must not come back. Tabure must not come back again. But he's got his own place in the future. That will be another thing, but not what he's doing now. He's not going to be Chigananda at that time. Okay, I think I've covered everything. My people. Now let's go to my people. Mini has made an announcement. I laugh when Mini is doing announcements. I laugh. Let's go and see what Mini has said. I said, exercise irrigation and Mini, Kisa. So yesterday she has answered the exercise that she's doing. Inonzi, stomach exercise. So let me show you what she is doing. So that is Mini here. I want to say thank you, Lord. Yes. So you see that exercise? She says, I'm giving a disclaimer. The person behind me holding my feet is a lady, is not a man. So you guys saw it. This came from this thing here. Let me show you this thing here. That is a workout. You must stomach. So for guys, let me show you what you do for your stomach. So let me give you, if you're in South Africa, I want to show you the tool that you're using. So Mini is using a roll. So what do you call that? A wheel. So let me show you what you use if you're a guy. So let me give you let me stand up and show you. I want to take it from my just behind me here. So whose picture do I put here? Let's put Mohadi's picture to block the screen so that you don't see me walking away. It's not nice to watch me walking away. So if you're a guy in South Africa, there's a nice tool that you can use. I'm not going to sit. So let's not sit because those are sit angle. So that is the tool here. You see this one here? That's 10 kgs. Is that the direction? Yes. So that is this you get it at Mr. Price, right? Apologies for my hands, guys. Apologies for my hands. Let's put more at the back. My hands angle. Oh, they're crazy. So that too, you use it for your midsection because you can't work out like a girl. Your stomach must be as hard as a rock. So, your stomach. You know, akarara padombo atidi vanhu vane stomach to be soft. So that is the first tool that you must have every night on top of the exercise I've given you. You have to take that and do your side marrows, and then obviously what she's got. I've got it. I use this every night. I do this one. I don't do a lot because it tends to hurt my back. So I normally do like 60 of those. So on top of that, you have your mve. So that's Yomve, and that will make sure your muscles grow. You do your sides with that tool that I've shown you at Mr. Price, 500 rands, which is about $25. And then you put your rows. So that workout will make sure that when you touch yourself, you're strong, wakasimba, and then also your muscle on your hands. So a guy's hands is the foundation of everything. So what I'm going to do for the guys on Harare, if you don't have that tool, I'll try to make an arrangement for you to get it. Kovana Chavango are ready to steal our M31. No, it's not going to happen. You should not have a general secretary. Try to put an organization whereby the president. Yes, that's what we've done, Komakuda. We don't have a general secretary. We don't have all those things. You can go and check out the structure. Let me show you the structure that we've proposed. And we're also going to start approaching other people. So I know that we approached BT and all those guys. I'm going to call them. So this week, I'm going to start calling the guys. So we'll start calling them and actually coming back with who has accepted and who has not, and the candidates. So if you want to see the actual structure that we proposed, go here. So I'm giving you the link. You can also check the M31 Zimbabwe website, which is under construction. So the M31 Zimbabwe website is under construction. Do not worry about what is there right now. It's just placeholders. So over here is placeholders. So you can go and check out, look at the website that the guys are creating right now. It's looking amazing. I like it because it's simple and it's for the people in Zimbabwe who don't have data. So we've got a lot of stuff happening here. It's under construction and it's going to do very, very well. Within the next month, the M31 website will be ready. You'll be able to join, you'll be able to book events. It's going to be nice. It's going to have news. You'll be able to follow us on all our platforms. We want to create something that you'll be proud of in our country. ZANU-PF is a party of old people. They are proud of their past. We want to turn Zimbabwe into Dubai within 5 years. That is our objective. And we want a president that will make you feel proud. You know, the same feeling you felt when Morgan Tsvangirai was speaking at an international event. When Morgan Tsvangirai was in office with Obama, that feeling you got, we want that feeling for our new president. We don't want Chigananda. We don't want a president who does not have a plan. What is Mnangagwa's plan right now? What is Mnangagwa planning to do in the next 3 years? In 3 years, with Mahere as president, we are going to turn this country into a country with new roads, new rail, new buildings, new everything. The country will be amazing. 3 years is too much. Look what President Hakainde Hichilema has been able to do in his first term. Zambia is amazing. The buildings that are going up, everything is amazing in Zambia. I like it. So we want to do the same. And we don't want unorganized and unplanned things. We want a planned political party that is going to do well. And I like the fact that everyone is starting to see the light. A political party is essential for us to do well. So I'm aware of everything that's going on, but we have up to the 24th of August to make it work. Everything comes together and we succeed. Okay. Vision 2030 is the plan. Mnangagwa arikura vanhu nenzara. All right, let's do Akabroka. Mnangagwa Akabroka. Sean Akabroka. Auxilia Akabroka. Emerson Jr. Akabroka. Kuda Akabroka. Collins. Kakomana kanoda vakadzi vevanhu kakabroka. Right, vese vakabroka zvigananda. And as I said to you, we're going to do very, very well. We're going to work in a coalition and everyone is going to do well. and Mdara Wedu, Chiwenga is going to be there. ZANU-PF is not going to go away. They're going to be there. So we hope that the ZANU-PF guys also have a new structure and everything does very, very well. So now let's recap what we've said. So the platform run, or which is being run by Traore, a very staunch supporter of Chiwenga, has claimed that 12 assassins have arrived in Zimbabwe who were brought into the country by billionaire Kudata Gure. And the purpose of these assassins is to cause chaos in the country. In fact, let us try to phone Traore now and see what I don't answer here. What is he talking about? And let's see if he's going to answer Traore, so that we can end with something quite important, which is a confirmation. I think he's sleeping. I don't think he's going to be awake at this time. So I'm going to talk to him when he wakes up to confirm this story of the 12 assassins and give us more details. And also, I'm going to check if the Hyatt Regency Hotel is a real thing. Is Miko's hotel now called the Hyatt Regency Hotel? Miko's hotel, new name in Harare, what are they called? Of course, they are called Hyatt Regency Harare, the Mikos. So it means right now, if you go into the Mikos, you're going to find 12 assassins sleeping there, waiting to cause chaos. Or maybe they just arrived there. So I don't know. Maybe we should check. Guys, the intelligence. Check if there are any 12 people who slept in the Hyatt regions from East Europe for the past month who arrived together. Easy. Then Toabata. Toabata. Ataguri. Anosara Asinama assassins. Okay. Right, I think I've covered everything. And it's been great. I like Saturdays. They're amazing. Saturdays are the best days because that is the first day of my workout. So I take a break on a Thursday and a Friday, and then I do 3 workouts a day for 4 days. For 5 days, yeah. 5 days. I wanted to show you guys something else. Just 1 second. Let's see if I have it close to me. Let's see if I have it close to me. Yes, I do have it close to me. I want you guys to know something that is happening in South Africa. So I know that most of you guys want help from me. So my ID is out, right? My South African ID. How do I cover the barcode? Most of those scanners. I'm really my CEO. So my new ID is out, right? Of South Africa. So my old ID was that big thing, that big green thing. So let's see. I'll show you. The big green thing has been replaced by the small ID. So the old ID of South Africa was a book. So you had to carry a book around like a passport. So let me show you. Right, so now I can show you. Right, so there's my old ID, right? My old ID of South Africa. And this is my new ID of South Africa. Let me try to cover the numbers because, like I said, people are going to copy my ID. Is there even a number here? No, there's no number. So let me hold here. Right. So there is my ID, right? My new ID and my old one. So what has happened is with the new DA minister of South Africa, if you're a foreigner and you're in South Africa, you now have the same services as a South African. So the new government of President Ramaphosa. So let me remove this thing because I'm going to share it to other people. So the new government of President Ramaphosa has made it possible so that the services that you get as a foreign national are also the same services that a South African gets. So at Home Affairs in the past, if you wanted to book an appointment, you couldn't book if you're a foreign person. So with the new minister who has come in, they've rationalized and made the processes at Home Affairs more efficient. So the Home Affairs is not like a bank. When you enter Home Affairs, you book before you go. When you arrive, you go on a system, a queuing system. And yesterday, it took me exactly 1 hour. I left my house, I didn't rush. I knew what time I was going in, and everything was done. And I got my ID, which I could not get under the old Home Affairs. The old Home Affairs had the Dudula mentality of saying, you're a foreign person, you cannot get an ID, you cannot have this service. What? This guy was coming, who is coming, the new Home Affairs Minister of South Africa. So let's actually find the new Home Affairs Minister of South Africa. Right. It's called Leon Schreiber. So Leon Schreiber has made the Home Affairs so efficient and everything is working. They've taken away the backlog. And like you can see, they're actually more responsive. So they're very responsive and you get the service. The service is so well done. My understanding is that they might even end up printing the licenses. So you might want to know, how do you get to ID? So let's say in South Africa, how do you get to ID? Like this. So firstly, you must be a permanent resident of South Africa. Then you go on the queuing system. It's a simple and easy process. You just go there and it's done. So that's what we want to do for Zimbabwe. But what we want to do for Zimbabwe is simple. We want people to come to Zimbabwe. Like, I'm now giving you the manifesto here of M31. We want people to come to Zimbabwe. We want the country to be first world. So if you land at Victoria Falls, we want you to be able to be in Harare within 3 hours. And you should have stopped in Bulawayo, in Gweru. You should have stopped in all the small towns in between and walked around like you do in Europe. You should then be able to leave Harare and go to Masvingo by rail and spend only 2 hours, like 1 hour. It should take an hour to go to Masvingo, go and see the Great Zimbabwe. And if you want to go to Beitbridge, you should be able to go into the same rail and go into Beitbridge. Within 2 hours, you should have gone around the whole country. The same way, if you are in the United States, you can go between Washington and New York. And if you're in Europe, you can go between Germany and Netherlands so quickly. So these things are possible, and this requires a system. What the Home Affairs of South Africa shows us is that if with a new government that is focused on development, you can do so well. Look at the city center of Harare. That thing is a mess. And the plan that we have there. So let me tell you about the plans of the CBD. And I've approached Mafume on this. I talked to Mafume briefly about a year or so ago. So you see all the area after Eastergate, everything there is dead. You can have a massive development over there. Link that rail, which is there already, all the way to Chitungwiza, it can become an amazing rail. And also people can be able to walk. You should be able to walk in those areas. You should have gardens, you should have parks. Look what's happening at Cape Town. Cape Town is amazing. If you don't know Cape Town, it's like you're in a different country. The moment you leave Johannesburg and you're in Cape Town, it's like you've gotten into a different country. It's no longer the same country. The place is so developed. It's clean. And unfortunately for them, they've got traffic. That's the only thing I heard about Cape Town. They've got traffic. Joburg has got zero traffic now. I don't know, they've put such a big road between Pretoria and Johannesburg. But that aside, everything in Cape Town is functional, is doing very well. And you get ticketed like crazy. If you drive badly, you get a ticket. So what am I saying? Let's move away from the old way of thinking. Let's think about systems. Let's fix our country. And Mnangagwa is no one. Mnangagwa is gone. Mnangagwa is the problem. Mnangagwa Arukuravanu, Nenzara. Let's look forward to a new president. And to Fadzi, what I can say is, you are at a point where you are able and well placed to do these things. The same thing that President Duma is doing in Botswana. That is the things that we can do. We want our country to have a visa for people to come and live in our country. And in 5 years, we want Victoria Falls to become one of the top places for you to come if you're a digital nomad. So those kind of things that I'm talking about, Mnangagwa cannot visualize them. He cannot think about them because he's not in that generation. But we have people that are capable. And these people know what to do. We need to convince Fadzi to run and become a candidate in 2028. But we need to address the issue of Chamisa. And that is important. We need to address what Chamisa is doing. We don't want things that are not planned. So we need to be clear. Everyone needs to be clear. And this communication needs to go to everyone. We don't want the old way of doing things. It has failed so many times. And we're not going to take it. We're not going to have a failure of our own or an own goal. So we're not going to take it. And don't think that people are not seeing it. People want change. And it doesn't mean because people love the opposition, they cannot change. They will change and we end up with a problem if we don't resolve this now. So we need to resolve ourselves and organize ourselves and make sure that we have a government that comes when 2028 arrives. By 2035, Zimbabwe should be the most developed country in the region. And everyone should be coming to work in Zimbabwe. That's what we want. Okay, I think we've covered it. We have drawn the picture for you. Now, let's make it happen. M31, Zimbabwe. And guys like Sarawaka are going to be over there. They're going to be in there. I like Sarawaka very much. I like young people that do stuff. What I don't like is young people that spend the whole time talking and criticizing. Become a part of it. Become a part of the change that you want to see. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. It has been amazing. It's been 1 hour and 2 minutes. I'm talking longer than Makandiwa and Chiwenga, General Apostle Chiwenga put together. Remember, last night I was here again. Guys, this is bad. I'm now a machine. Thank you very much for watching and a good day. See you just now, maybe after about a few hours as we look at the elections in Malawi. Thank you very much and a good day to you.